So today we're off into town again, which by default means I'm going to CEX. Will it be very much different from yesterday? Probably not, but it's a requirement. You can't go into town and not go to CEX. It's part of the ritual, isn't it? Elsewhere on the agenda is do the weekly shop, play Assassin's Creed,
Pick up packing from M&S.
go to M&S to get a new jacket for the first time in 7 years.
And
Literally, need to fuel your car up. I'm surprised you didn't lose a knot on the way home yesterday.
I was on the way.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to lose another one because the bottom quarter of our tanks are worth nothing. What else? I need to do the unboxing of the PC components. I didn't do that yesterday. I need to do some videos on TikTok of the PC components too. Yeah. If you look at the top of B&M Just for Pets and Aldi, there's loads and loads of birds on top of B&M. Like 5 birds on top of Just for Pets that don't have any mates. And then there's literally none on top of Aldi. They must think Aldi smells bad. Aldi does. To be, I was going to say, to be fair, Aldi does smell bad, but B&M is worse, so yeah, B&M. Right, into CEX we go. Okay, welcome back to Stafford CEX, which used to be home of the Pokemon games, where they had just about all of the expensive Pokemon games that had ever become expensive, but now, just a few Pokemon Yellows, like a strange amount of Pokemon Yellows too. One of them is in just abysmal condition. Also, I've seen a big influx of consoles recently. There's a lot of stuff behind the glass at my CEX. I feel like a lot of CEXs that I go to, say like Cannock, Newcastle, Stoke, their behind the glass section isn't very extensive besides like the miscellaneous stuff. Do you never think it's strange the amount of like miscellaneous stuff must get sold to CEX? Like in this CEX, there's a pair of hair straighteners. The stuff that they do take versus the stuff that you think they take is mad. I would love to see like CEX's revenue split in terms of the things that make them the most money. I would be willing to bet straight away that it's phones, first of all, because the amount of people that buy phones from in here is wild. I remember when I used to work at Tesco, the town that I work, this town and Tesco has a massive, I don't know what their like job titles are, but the dudes from Romania that come and work in the fields, them guys, and they often come into CEX to buy their phones. A lot of phones at that, because there's loads of them. And just think about how much money that would make CEX, you know? And then, yeah, that was a big learning curve working at Tesco. It's like, they have like their specific phone, like, you know how we might have Vodafone, etc. They have their own ones, and you have to like learn how to decipher those menus on the tills. It was always very strange. It's been 9 years this year since I worked at Tesco. That's a crazy thought. Nothing too interesting inside of CEX today, as you can probably tell, but that's because it has only been like a day or two since the last time I came. Although, at the time of recording this voiceover, it's now been a week, because I spent the majority of the week playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, once I finished all the clips for this video, I just sweated Shadows for a while. This was a cool game. I remember playing Fracture a lot as a kid. You could raise and lower the terrain by shooting it, and create cover, or opportunities to reach higher ground. I love that sort of thing in games where you can like manipulate the environment for your own good. I don't feel like it's a thing games try to do anymore. Like Red Faction Guerrilla, there you go. So I've got Red Faction in front of me. Red Faction Guerrilla's destruction physics. Imagine that, but in modern day, with potentially some or a lot of other mechanics as well to make it even better. We don't seem to get that. Is that Return to Castle Wolfenstein there on PS2? I might get that, because I might play through the Wolfenstein games at some point. Alright then, that's CEX sorted, and my Ghost of Tsushima Steelbook yesterday for free. Cool. I should have a look on eBay, see how much those go for. Just walking past the cinema, but without going in and without it being dark outside. That almost never happens. Oh look, it's the place that can't stop talking about John Ledward.
Oh my God.
What a great way to market your brand new bar. Market it towards people that are not old enough to go, because only the 16-year-old girls actually love him. Makes sense, doesn't it?
One of his lives showed up on my TikTok because I searched him up for that woman on the train.
It's baffling. I don't understand. Tomorrow, though, we're coming to see Alto Nights, which is a Robert De Niro gangster film, which means it's definitely 4 hours long. It's got to be at least 2.5. He doesn't do...
I think it's like 2 hours 20.
Robert De Niro has not done a film under 2 hours 30 since he was about 50, and I'm pretty sure he's about 80. Tomorrow's going to be a long one. Oh, M&S is miles away. I remember before all of this was built.
We can book Cayle as well. After tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
Back in my teenage years when I'd just wander the streets all night because there was nothing else to do. This was just a pile of mud. And it looked like they were never... But they'd like levelled everything and it was just a massive pile and it was like they were never actually going to get anything done.
2 hours, 3 minutes. That's not even that bad.
2 hours, 3 minutes for a gangster.
And that's including the ads and the credits.
Maybe he's getting tired. That is the world's flattest lightsaber.
I think it's like...
It's a lightsaber.
Doesn't it look weird to look in the car park a minute?
Yeah, we'll be back there later. Do you remember when we went bowling but the alley was wonky?
Yeah.
That was weird. I wonder if they ever fixed that. Because I feel like...
It's not a real bowling alley though.
It was a bowling alley.
It's not 10-pin bowling.
It's a real bowling alley. It says Super Bowl.
But like it's not a full-length bowling lane.
I don't feel like you can have like not
Nando's
flat.
Sounds good.
Nando's isn't... the only thing cheeky at Nando's now is the price.
It's double chilies week this week.
What is it? Twice as spicy?
No, you get double your points for going to Nando's.
Posh. It's not even chocolate hazelnut, so I don't even know what it's going to taste like. Hazelnut creme. Did they take Amex? I presume M&S.
I'm just putting this on joint account. I can't be bothered.
I presume M&S of all places takes Amex though.
But if I was going to, I'd use my M&S credit card and get more M&S points.
Posh.
But not for £4. I don't care about that.
Oh yeah. Just been in. Oh look. Hang on. He's undercover, but he's not undercover because there's a police station right there. Why has he got his lights on? Also, why are they red and not blue? That's a Hyundai. That's weird. Anyway, we just got out of Marks and Spencer's and Neve was having
Matcha.
this drink and there was these two old fogies, as they are always, basically kicking off at the girl making the drinks that the drink wasn't hot enough while the girl was talking about how it was burning her hands and she can't make it any hotter.
When it's not like...
It's steaming, it's boiling.
It's like, it's a glorified machine.
Like, and then the next one, after clearly seeing this girl was being given a hard time, was like, I'm in such a rush. It's like, love, Deborah, you're 65 and you're going to go home and watch Emmerdale. It's 4:30 on a Saturday. You ain't that busy. Christ, leave the girl alone. I couldn't work in retail anymore.
Nice to her.
Yeah. We both did Tesco for long enough that no, I don't have that patience no more. Half hour later, we've been doing the shopping at Aldi and Tesco. We've got my mum a present. Because she likes ornaments. And she's got one of our old dog, Millie, the Stafford. And this can be Ruby. 12 quid. How many are even in that thing?
40 grams. It's probably about 6 of them in there. 7, 8. Dog chocolate cherries. Really nice.
Are we once again sure they're not dog treats?
Real people.
Because she keeps buying snacks that I'm pretty sure are not for human consumption.
No.
Ours is bigger. See what she does.
She's nipped his bum. It's quite small. It's about 3/4 of her size.
It's like puppy Ruby sized. Bored. Bored now. Give your keys. Well, we got them bloody everywhere, look. Did you miss us? You been good girl? Ruby Rubes? You been good girl? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hello. Right, hello. Let's go through some PC components that have been delivered. So, bit of backstory as we approach April. Early December, I started talking about how I want to build a new PC. I want to build like a crazy, overpowered PC for single player gaming, pretty much. And have that just be basically a super console that is a PC. I'll still use the one that's back there as like my Google Chrome, etc. But I'm going to make this new PC and connect it up. Anyway, I did that. Spoke about that quite a bit over on TikTok. And somebody from Corsair reached out to me. And over the course of the last few weeks, months, I've been receiving bits and pieces. And let me show you what's come. So first of all, we got this big boy. It's bloody heavy. The new 4000 series case. That is actually way heavier than it looks. Which, you know, probably a good thing considering what I intend to go in the thing. I'm hoping that that's visible from up here, right? Yeah. We still recording? We are. Let's not let the camera fall off, shall we? So this is the Corsair 4000D. and I'm hoping that it's big enough to fit everything that I want in. And then today, this arrived, which is also heavier than I thought. This is a 1,500 watt power supply, the HXI series, so the ultra low noise variant. Platinum rated, so should be good. Because in this PC, I want a 5090 at some point with a 9800X 3D, because I think that's currently the best CPU combination that you can get. So, case, power supply. Next up, we've got a SSD. So this is the MP700 Pro Gen 5 2TB SSD. And it's interesting, right? When I compare on ChatGPT the speeds of this thing versus the SSD that's in my current PC back there, it's something like 4,000% quicker. Apparently the SSD that I've been using for the last 4 years is actually a bit ancient. So I don't even know if I've ever really experienced what an SSD feels like. But I'm sure that once this thing goes in, I will. And then, when it comes to RAM, we have got 64 gigabytes, 6,000 megatransfers, Vengeance DDR5 to go in here. So this is a little bit of a Corsair sponsored build, I suppose, between the case, the RAM, the power supply, and one of the SSDs. I've got another SSD as well, from a previous collaboration with Seagate, so I'm going to have 2 SSDs. That's a Gen 4 one, so this will probably be my primary SSD, and that can be a secondary. I don't know when this PC is actually going to be built. It's going to be a while yet. I'm still looking out for all of the other components that I need. So a 5090, a 9800X 3D CPU, and then my motherboard I think is going to be an X870E variant, because they seem to have a lot of USB ports. I know one massive upgrade for me with my new motherboard is going to be onboard Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, because I don't have that on my current motherboard, and the amount of times that's been a problem has been rather annoying. So yeah, this is a lovely little delivery that's been shaping up over a few months now. It's been a while. There's been a lot of stuff behind the scenes as we've been going back and forth about different things, but we ended up getting there in the end. So we got the 1,500 watt power supply, because I wanted to make sure that it was definitely enough for this bloody 5090, considering people's get melted. And 64 gigabytes of RAM. That's twice as much RAM as is currently in my existing PC, and twice the speed as well. 2 sticks of 32. A MP700 Pro, and then of course the case over here. Although interestingly, I don't know if I'm supposed to mention this, but other people will if I don't. But it's good customer service, so I will. It did come with a bit of a dent in the top panel here, which when mentioned, they quickly sent out a replacement top cover as well, so that's been fixed too. That's also downstairs, I just need to unbox that. But yeah, the PC build at some point is going to take place as I continue to gather components, and at some point build a crazy powerful PC so that I can continue to play 20-year-old games. Whoops. Right, it's been a few days. I have finished Assassin's Creed Shadows, the credits have rolled. The game has apparently been open for about 200 hours, according to PlayStation's hour counter thing. I don't know how many of those hours were actually playable. Lots was the answer. It's a very long game. I don't think it's quite as long as Valhalla, but I do think it shares a similar problem. This is not their intention, I'm sure, but while I was playing through a lot of Assassin's Creed Shadows, I was like, I wish I was playing Neo or Ghost of Tsushima. It's the truth. It's a good game. It's an Assassin's Creed as you would expect them to be. The biggest problem that I think Assassin's Creed Shadows has, and I don't think I've seen anyone else say this, is that if I wanted to play an Assassin's Creed game that felt the way Assassin's Creed Shadows does, I would just go and play Origins or Odyssey if I wanted a little bit more RPG mechanics. It's the same reason why I don't like Valhalla. I liked Shadows, but I do not like Valhalla, for reference there. I don't know. It's a weird one, Assassin's Creed Shadows, because I feel like it started really, really strong for the first 10 hours or so, and the last 6 hours were really good as well. The game's got a bit of an epilogue, the same way that Red Dead 2 has, where after the main story is done, you still got a little bit more to go. And the epilogue of the game gets back to, what the game started being about. The middle of the game has got a bit of a problem that I think a lot of the Assassin's Creed games have had for a few years now, where the main characters are not the main characters. I'm sick to death of Assassin's Creed games having their main plot be about go to area, meet high up official in said area, whether it be a king or a squire or whatever in Valhalla, or a lord or a daisho or whatever or daimyo or a shogun or whatever in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and them tell you all about their problems and you go around fixing their problems, and it not really having much to do with your own story, besides the fact that at the end of it you'll get to drop another one of the masked fellas and clear off another one of the Shin Bak Fu cult of Cosmos, whatever they are in this game. You know, this is the thing that they all do these days. Like, the first 10 hours of the game is pretty much exclusively about Naue and Yasuke's story. And then the last, 6 hours, the epilogue, is once again their personal stories. But then the middle, 50 hours is you solving everybody else's problems. And I think that let the story down a little bit. Especially when I really liked the story to begin with. And the music was pretty good. This is the first time I think I've clocked the music in an Assassin's Creed game in a while. Like during some of the cinematics and stuff. It has the same problem that I think a lot of the Assassin's Creed game... Actually, no, not just Assassin's Creed game. It's got a lot of the same problems that a lot of RPGs these days do, where these RPGs have got skill trees, and their skill trees matter for nothing. If I can fill out a skill tree, and at the end of the game feel about as powerful as I did at the start of the game, with very little new in the skill set, then it doesn't really feel like the skill tree mattered. The leveling up here is simply to keep whatever damage you do and take on par with the enemies. There are a few different times that I found through this game where the next main quest was going to be 3 or 4 or 5 levels above where I was currently at, and that then meant that I needed to go and clear some castles or go and assassinate some people and whatever to get some experience to catch up again. But it just didn't feel natural. The way that these games do that doesn't feel natural. And to be fair, it's not just the RPGs that have done it. Unity was the first one that I remember doing this, where if an enemy is just so many levels above you, you will get one shot. Whether you're Yasuke, Naue, whether you've got legendary armor on, doesn't matter. The basic enemies, if they've got a skull above their head, will one-shot you. And there was a few times... It was interesting because I said this on TikTok. I was like, the leveling in this game has been really balanced. At no point have I found myself walled off by the next mission and had to just divert. Now, I don't mind when games do this to encourage you to do the side stuff, as long as the side stuff that you go and do is therefore interesting, but here it really wasn't. And also, it needs to be appropriately timed. Don't have us be in the middle of some dramatic story shift and some cliffhanger moment, but then make me go, sorry, if you want to continue this story, you need to go and come back 5 levels heavier. Especially when... It was really strange, especially when the leveling up was really, narrow. You know how in most games, the amount of experience you need for your next level is dramatically more than the previous level. In this, that wasn't the case. It was a case of, every single quest in the game would give you 1,000 to 2,000 experience every single time, except for when you finished, a chain of the quests, whether it's taking out all the corrupted folk, or taking out all the pirates, or the swordsmen, or the students, or whatever the little circles were on the map, because I did them all, to make sure I was staying on level. Once you finish those, you get 5,000 experience. If it wasn't for the fact that the castles were so boringly structured, I'd have done more of them to get the 3,000 experience that each castle gave you. But the point is that everything gave you about the same amount of experience as a reward for everything that you did. And none of it really mattered in terms of actual character progression. All it really mattered was to keep you on par with the enemies that you were going to have to fight in the next mission. Generally, I found that as long as you were within 3 levels of whatever it was you were fighting, you were fair. But if you are 5 levels below, you're getting one shot by the basic enemies, and it doesn't matter what gear you've got on. And it's silly. I don't like that. But yeah, I liked Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think here's the thing, right? A lot of people will have already made up their decisions on Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's a case of if you liked the game, if you liked the other Assassin's Creed games, especially Valhalla, right? If you really liked Valhalla, and I really, really didn't, you're probably going to love Assassin's Creed Shadows, because Shadows is Valhalla but better. Yeah. If you're somebody that loves Ghost of Tsushima and isn't a fan of Assassin's Creed, you're probably not going to like it. You probably already know that. You probably made that decision already. If you're somebody that plays every Assassin's Creed game anyway, you're probably playing it now already because it's what we do. Assassin's Creed is one of those franchises like Call of Duty where a lot of us will just keep buying them every year and keep playing them in hopes of And to be fair, I stopped doing that with Call of Duty a long time ago. Like, it's been quite a few CODs now. I think it's been at least 5 since I've brought a new Call of Duty. I think World War II might have been the last new Call of Duty I bought, perhaps, like when it was new, versus like playing it after the fact. But Assassin's Creed I will always buy because I always like them. They're always at least okay, except Valhalla. I really didn't like Valhalla. Valhalla really annoyed me by the end of it because it was just a joke. How many times you had to go and meet new king who was going to be betrayed by a member of his court, and you had to work out who, or the other alternative quest, because there was only 2 quests in that game. The other quest was, oh, see this lad here. One day he's going to be someone important, but right now he isn't, and he's not capable of looking after himself. It's Reacher season 3. That's the quest. And there was about 10 times that happened where you had to go and look after some young kid while someone tried to betray him, even though he had the rightful ring to the crown or whatever. But honestly, here's an Assassin's Creed Shadows drinking game. I'd be curious if anybody would survive it. Take a shot every time somebody is a lord. Every time somebody talks to someone and addresses them as Lord, da 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 da, take a shot. 2 versions of this game. The one of them, you're dead immediately. If every time you hear the word Lord, you take a shot, you're dead within the first 2 hours. But if you even take a shot every time a new Lord is introduced, you're still dead by the time the game's over, because everybody's a Lord. And it's like, if everybody's a Lord, nobody's a Lord. Nobody, like, why are we... It got really hard to keep track of at one point. Like, there was like betrayals and plot twists, and I'm like, I'm not sure we've even met, and if we have, I didn't clock it, because I don't know. But yeah, those are my final thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows now that it's over. I enjoyed it. I wished I enjoyed it more. I wished it was shorter. I'd have enjoyed it more if it was shorter and didn't drag on so long. I wished it was a little bit more focused on the main characters rather than the main characters solving everybody else's stories. Rather than... Because the best parts of the game were when we were focused on the characters and their own stories. Like, Yasuke is getting so much hate online when he has probably got the best personal story of the game. I wouldn't have minded more of just him. Never mind now, you know? But yeah. See you in a bit.